beyond 2026, Neil, what's next for JustGo? Can you share a little bit more about where the JustGo platform is headed? As you spoke about, we're continuing to invest in our platform, and a lot of customer feedback also helps us shape those enhancements. What's next, and what trends are helping JustGo to shape that direction?
Yeah, so I suppose right now, in terms of the focus for the team, we've obviously got there's the version 3 modernization element that's ongoing. In parallel to that, there's a big drive now around, and there's been a lot of interest in that in the results and the competition space. So there's been a lot of good work happening there in the past kind of few months to really start to allow customers to bring results and statistics into the system that they can start to kind of present back to their community. And we're seeing in the few customers that have already started to take that, the engagement with the platform, with the sport is really increasing, because that gives them the place where they can go and see the results, the scores, the stats on whatever the sport it is they're playing. So that's going to be kind of a big focus for us, in parallel to the work that's ongoing. And we're already seeing a lot of interest kind of in that kind of area. And that module will probably build out into some kind of wider competition management module in the future. Right now it's quite specifically focused around kind of results and results ingestion. It will probably widen out as we go through into 2026. So definitely a big kind of focus there. Probably the other point to mention is then as well as mobile app. So right now we've got very much sort of an admin focused mobile app that allows for kind of ticket scanning and for kind of class management, for attendance tracking. So again, kind of a big push in 2026 around the mobile app, actually pivoting it to start providing kind of member functionality now. So it kind of moves away from not just an admin only app, but actually also one the community can use, and they can look at their profile, make updates, look at digital wallets, cards that they've got. So there'll be a big push into there, which should be really exciting. So those are probably two things to maybe kind of call out. In terms of things for the longer term future, I think probably the two hot ones is just a continuation around data analytics is still going to be a big push into the future. There's still a big push around understanding the data that customers have got and trying to help them to understand what's in there. And probably, weaving into that would be AI, which is an element that can start to help customers understand, and process that data that they've got, quite a lot better. So I think we'll see AI coming into lots of different points of the system, not just say in helping data analytics, but maybe in guided member journeys, providing support, suggestions to individuals. I think we'll kind of start to see points of AI weaving into lots of different modules within the system. So those are probably kind of two of the hot ones to watch into the future. And of course, as always, listening to the customers as well, because they've got really good insight into what the long-term prospects of the sport is, where it's going, and what we need to be adapting to moving forward. So it's not always just what we think; it's quite often as well, getting that input from the customer base as well. So
that's incredibly exciting, and it really highlights how version 3 is a major step forward, not just for the JustGo platform itself, but for how our customers better understand, connect with, and support their members, and ultimately drive more participation and engagement in their sport, right? Neil, thank you for sharing your insights today.
Welcome.
We're looking forward to bringing version 3 and single customer view to our community over the coming months, and to continuing to support sports organizations as they grow and evolve. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.